Hey everyone, so the new rank calibration season is here, and I'm sure almost all of you are really anxious to recalibrate yourselves. All this time I've been uploading just gameplay videos and highlights and everything like that, but I thought I'd do something different, and I'd try to share my experience and walk you through a calibration match which I played as a support. I'm not a pro player, nor am I even the divine bracket yet, but maybe whatever I'm going to be sharing with you today could help someone in the ancient bracket or even a bracket lower than that. So let's get going. So let's begin with my starting items. I know many people will just say that this is a very bad set of starting items, but my thought process behind all this is that here in this lane I just want to rush my boots because they have a Sand King and a Tusk who can very easily close gaps or even run away very fast. Therefore, me as the lion, I just want to make sure that I can run in and stun someone so that maybe my Pudge could hook them back and we could net a kill.
Why not?
The battle begins.
Hook them. Time for strong.
So over here I see the Orb of Venom debuff on me.
Oh yes.
That means the Tusk is carrying this. It's a pretty default item for a Persian 4 Tusk.
Prowling.
So my need for speed, or brown boots for that matter, will allow me to run away faster or either to catch up with them faster.
Yes.
This play right here is not the best. I messed up here badly. So what happens is when I try to right click the Sand King, these two melee creeps aggroed on me and gets hit by the tower. This means that my Alchemist is gonna have a harder time CSing. In fact, he actually loses one last hit because of that. So when you're a support, always try to move away from the creeps before right clicking to harass the enemy offlaner, because the creeps, they aggro whoever who is attacking their own heroes. So I got my boots now, and I immediately realized that the wave is pushing out, and it's going to be really unsafe for the Alchemist to farm there since he's not level 6. So what I do is I decide to pull the lane so that our creeps will meet their creeps much more closer to our tower. However, I make a mistake here. I don't allow for one of the neutral creeps to die before attacking to aggro the other camp.
Yes.
Therefore, I was unable to complete the double pull successfully. If I had waited until the second creep had died and then aggroed, the double pull would have worked. But thankfully the die is pushing the wave, so it did not do a lot of damage to the creep equilibrium.
Forward.
At this point, I decided to buy raindrops, wards, and smoke. Right now, the Dire, they don't have a massive amount of physical damage, so the raindrop is gonna help mitigate the ton of magic damage they have.
Why not? Oh yes.
I decided to move towards the mid since the DP has popped her ultimate, and I hope that we could net a kill.
Verily.
And of course the Tusk and the Sand King were both on bottom lane, so I thought it was safe and we could get a kill on the Necrophos. So I pop the smoke and I ward and I get an illusion rune and head towards the mid. With my really bad micro, I somehow managed to let one of the illusions scout the bottom half. So if the Tusk or the Sand King decides to counter gank from behind, I would have some sort of vision. Unfortunately, the gank fails and I head back, but the effort was not at all a loss because I managed to put down a ward, and you will see later how this ward becomes so useful for us. So if you look at my skill build, I've been maxing the mana drain over the stun or the hex. My thinking behind that is if the Sand King is out of mana, he has no spells to save him or even for him to go on the offensive. And also since he's a melee hero who can just burst me down with the help of the Tusk if I try to harass him too much or if I try to get close to him. The mana drain is pretty much the safest way of harassing him and forcing him to be out of position or to disturb his last hitting. Also, I realized that the Tusk is trying to go for a kill by making use of the trees on my left side, so I back away and ping out the Tusk and tell the Elk also to back off.
Are fortified.
Here's where my ward, which I placed earlier, comes into play really. I see the Tusk moving towards the mid, so I ping him out and alert my DP.
Your middle tower
Again, I see him coming back towards the bottom, so I decide to go back and back my alchemist up. All thanks to that one ward, which just cost you like what, 50 gold as a support. Even though I selected soft support, I still went ahead and bought the wards. So it shows you how important vision is in Dota. I see the DP and the Pudge chasing the Necro. I know I can't run that fast and get to them. So what I do is I teleport to the shrine, and from there I go and help them out. Here of course I make a mistake. I use the Hex, and with it I'm sure DP had enough damage to kill the Necro, but I used the Hex and the stun as well just to guarantee the kill. But if I hadn't used the stun there, I would have actually been able to disable the Tusk who was coming in, and we would have been able to net a kill on him as well. I try to bully the Juggernaut, and knowing that my Pudge is close by, he tries to attack me. As soon as the Blade Fury ends, he tries to Omni Slash, but I immediately Hex him, and the Pudge basically comes in and dismembers. The important thing here is that, or rather, I do not cast my stun until the dismember duration is over. This way, I am able to stack the stuns and disable the Juggernaut for even a longer period of time. Basically, the Death Prophet arrives and cleans up the kill. Unfortunately, my team decides to stay and fight, and basically it costs 3 additional lives. They very easily could have just backed off because my death or the Juggernaut's death is favorable for us. Take a look at my item queue. I'm queuing up a Glimmer Cape. Now, most people will rush a dagger online usually. In this game, however, they have some really good counter initiations, saves and heals. The only burst damage we have is the Finger of Death. So, if we can't kill someone in a couple of seconds, that means the person who initiated on them is gonna get blown out. So just imagine me going in with a Blink Dagger, trying to Hex and stun someone, and I have a Tusk up my ass, a Necrophos ulting me, or a Witch Doctor stunning me. So my team, however, they have really good damage over time, at least until the Alchemist comes online. The Glimmer Cape, on the other hand, will allow me to save my allies, or even myself, and get out of sticky situations. The way I approach this team fight is crucial. I could have TP'd in, but since there were already 2 TPs in, mine would have been very late, and I would have been caught in the epicenter. Instead, I approached from the outside and hit a double stun. DP dies because she used the Use Scepter offensively for no purpose whatsoever, but we do manage to kill the Tusk and Necro. I see the Witch Doctor cast his Death Ward, but I'm out of range for the stun to cancel it, and I also get stunned. So I just ulti him to scare the living hell out of him. This forces him to stop his ulti prematurely and run away. Then I use my TP to get to the shrine before the Sand King and try to kill him, but I do misjudge the length of my stun, and Sand King still managed to get away. This is a great example of how my item choices pay off. The Glimmer Cape is used multiple times in this fight, and I managed to save myself and the Bristleback because I went for this particular item. Also, if you noticed, I buy a Dust preemptively, and it helped us to detect the invisible Sand King. Again, see how the Glimmer Cape manages to save the Bristleback here. They popped Dust, but it was very late, and the Bristleback managed to get out very easily. Notice at this point how I hover around the back because I know I have 3 tanky heroes covering the front. all I need to do is punish anyone who overextends from the dire team. I notice the Witch Doctor and I see him casting the cast while Pudge pokes him. I just immediately use my ulti to blow him up. They commit buyback, and with Exorcism and Chemical Reg running out, I make the call to back and the team follows. Crispy play. This is a classic example of how support should play. Ideally, you should pick a target and dart in and out of battle, letting your skills come out of cooldown. Here, I use the Glimmer Cape preemptively to avoid detection, which allows me to get to the backline and target the Witch Doctor. I target him because I know I can blow him up quickly, because his stun would upset the positioning of our team fight. This is pretty much the last team fight we have, and look how useful the 4-staff is during this fight. Pudge has no reach from the low ground, so I 4-staff him into this very comfortable position where he can get this lovely hook onto the Sand King. And I pop the dust from the low ground so we get vision of the Invis heroes. I got the range increase talent, which I put to good use by just using Finger of Death on the Witch Doctor from the low ground. And see the little step I do when I see the Sand King coming in with the epicenter. I go towards the high ground and then quickly step out to avoid the epicenter waves and then dart back in to help my team. We clean up the last of the Diracts and take their Ancient. Alright guys, so this is pretty much it. You can enjoy the rest of the video from here on in. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. And I would be even happier if you could take away something from this video that would help you in your matches. Also guys, I would really appreciate if you could like and subscribe to my channel if you like my content, because in the end it's your support that drives me to make more beautiful videos like this. Alright folks, that's it from me for today. Until I catch you guys in the next one, GG, well played.
The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
Why not?